Hey, welcome back. Happy New Year. I am so goddamn excited to be in 2022. And how are you, Sarah?
Good. Welcome back to a new year, new chapter.
Oh yeah, so exciting.
I love it. How was your New Year's?
It was good. We stayed in with the kids, and once they went to bed, Will and I sat on the couch and we wrote out everything that we're going to be doing this year, and
I love
it
it.
was fun. I loved it.
Yeah,
How
that's
was yours?
good. We went to the neighbor's house, played cards, laughed. Oh my gosh, we laughed until we cried. It was good. It was a good way to ring in the new year.
Absolutely. Talking about New Year's, we wanted to talk on something today that I think everybody does is they make a New Year's resolution, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we want to talk today about why resolutions actually set you up for failure.
Like, how many resolutions have you set? Like, I've set so many that I've never accomplished. Like,
Yeah.
I've never fulfilled a resolution. So what does that do? It makes you feel like a failure. It makes you feel like you can't stick to something. It makes you feel like you have to set it again the next year. I can't even tell you how many times I set the resolution to lose weight and then feel like a failure, right? And so December 31st, I'm like, this is my year. The next year's my year. And then I start in January gung-ho and excited, but then it fizzles off by the third week. Why is that?
Yeah. It's because, and it's funny because I was thinking about this today. It's because people have an easy time making the decision out of the spur of the moment, feeling the excitement, seeing it in their head of them doing it. But to actually make the decision and put the action behind it and follow through is what people don't do. So it's the habit
Yep.
that they won't change.
Absolutely. Because you can change the day on the calendar, you can change the month, you can rip it off, but if you don't change your mindset, it doesn't matter. You're just changing the calendar. It all has to come within. Like, I read this book today. I'm day 2 of January. I'm already finished my first book. Like, my goal last year was to do 32 books. I did 24, so that's pretty good for me. It was one more than I did in 2020. And so this year my goal is 52 books. And the reason why is because knowledge is wealth. Like, if you want to have wealth, you have to seek the knowledge, right? It's not just getting up and doing the same thing every day and hoping that it changes. Like, that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing every day, hoping that things will change. If you're going to a job that you're not happy with, what's going to change? You're still getting up and going to the same job every single day. If you're not happy with the way you look and you keep saying, the next day you're going to go to the gym and so you can feel better, but then you keep pushing it, nothing's going to change. So it has to come with habit. And so I love reading. I get all of my inspiration from books. I attribute my success from the greats that I have read. I just read The Greatest Salesman in the World. It's from like 1968. And it's a story about a camel boy from Jesus's era where he wanted to be the greatest salesman, and they didn't give him the answers. They gave him the tools. They gave him the tools that he needed to become the greatest, wealthiest salesman in the world at that time. And such a great story. And that's the thing, is that we always want the answers. We want the answers. Just give me the answer, right? You ever join a program? Oh man, I did this so many times. I joined a program, like, come on, just give me the answer. Show me the answer. Just give me the answer and I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, even, Jesus talks about speaking in parables, right? Like, you have to find the answer because the answer is in you, not outside of you.
So true, Sarah. And that's the thing. Like, so many people will go on every single year, or like a lot of people I've even noticed throughout the years now, like they don't really do resolutions. They'll just make decisions throughout their year, even. But even those decisions aren't happening because of this same thing, right?
Yeah.
People don't realize, and even myself, until I got into studying me and knowing me and why I do the things I do and why I tick the way I tick, until I started studying that, I didn't realize it was within me. But now, being successful and going through all of it, 100% you have to know who you are and the habits you have, in order to be able to change that to get something you've never had.
Yeah. And you have to have persistence. Like, that is the key. If everybody's like, what's the key to success? It's persistence. You look at the people who have the success now and you're like, wow, they're so successful. I can have what they have. But then you don't realize the work that they had to put in to get to where they are. You didn't understand that they had to fail 10,000 times to find the one time that worked. Right? So it's having that persistence. I heard the best quote, and it's the quote that has stuck with me. And it was Kevin Hart. And he said, when you start something, you have to finish it. You can't leave things unfinished, including your goals. You can't leave your goals unfinished. And I read the Matthew McConaughey book, Green Lights, in December. I read it in a day. It was so good. Like, I'm not one for biographies, but for some reason I was drawn to this one. And it was such a good book. And he talked about his dreams, right? And he grew up in like a very strict household. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. Like, followed the rules. And he was in law school. So the reason why I read this book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, is because he referenced it in his book. This is the book that changed his life. He went to a buddy's house. They were all sleeping because they were cramming for a law exam. He picked it up. Started reading a couple pages and then asked his friend if he can borrow it. And the guy says, you can have it. He read this book and then he called his dad and he was scared shitless. And he said, Dad, I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. He's like, I want to be an actor. And his dad said, is that what you really want to do? And Matthew said, yes. And he said, don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass it.
Yeah. I love that. It's so true, right? So many people half-ass things and then that's when they just give up. If you're wanting something, you need to go full in on it. Make the decision and go full in on it, because you can see now, looking back into the past, that the things you didn't achieve is because you didn't give it your full. Because the things you have, you gave it your full. You know what it's like to get it because you went all in and got it. It's really simple when you look at it. Like, it really is simple when you look at it and you break it down. And you just pay attention to what it is you need to do.
So the question is are you half-assing happiness?
Not me, no.
Not me anymore. Don't get me wrong. I have my moments. Okay. Like, it's not easy. Like, you look at your present circumstances, right? We look at our present circumstances and we think we don't have the results. How come I don't have the results? Why is the money not in my bank account? Why am I still in debt? Why am I not happy? Why am I fat? Why am I unhealthy? Why doesn't my spouse love me? Why don't I have sex? And we look at our current circumstances and we wish tomorrow to be better. One of the ancient scrolls in this book was, you have to live for today. I will live this day as if it's my last. It's number 5, because we can't go back and change the past, and we are not guaranteed tomorrow. How many times have you said, I will live today as if it's my last day, and then you don't? You sit and you Netflix and you binge and you say, tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow. Millions of people didn't wake up today who said, I would start tomorrow. Time is our most valuable asset, and it's our greatest ally, and we don't have much of it. We feel we have all the time in the world. Well, there's 363 days left. 2 days are already checked off. So tell me, which day are you choosing? Which day? What day is the perfect day?
Yeah. And when you break it down like that, it's even crazier to know how fast time goes.
Yeah.
But for some reason, and I just said to Will this morning too, I said, well, here we are in the brand new year. And I said, 3rd year into this new age, COVID. And I said, there's people that have just went and transformed themselves to make it work and did shit and made fucking shit happen. And there's the people that are still stuck trying to figure it out, thinking life's going to go back to normal.
Yeah, it's not going to go back to normal. It never does. Look at history, okay? Just look at history. Imagine if it did go back. We might even be in the Viking era still, right? We might be in the area where the Romans ruled. Like, we can't go back. We only go forward.
Excuse me.
We only go forward in life. So, I was sitting... sometimes get lost in conspiracy theories. I do believe in some of them. Some of them I think they're pretty wacky, but I do believe in some of them. And one was that I heard recently, and Stephen Hawking talked about this, I'm not sure how many years back, but he said that humanity only has 100 years left. And then I was just randomly on TikTok, and another person said humanity has 50 years left. So if you knew that you only had 50 years left on this planet, are you going to be like, that puts me 50 years, puts me at 87 years old. Like, that's still young, right? Betty White, rest her soul, dead at 99. She was my hero. And I look at her. She could have had so many more years left, but she just chose not to wake up. It was her time. It was her time to go. But she was still young and spry. And at 87, I plan on my Nana right now is 87 years old, and she still lives on her own. And before COVID, she was going to the gym 3 times a week, and she was volunteering, and she was very spry and gardening and here and there. And that's how I want to be at 87 years old. So to know that maybe there's only 50 years left, what am I going to do with it? Am I going to work a job that I hate? Am I going to look in the mirror and hate myself every morning for the way that I look? Am I going to look at my food and hate the food that I'm eating because I don't know if it's really nourishing my body? No, I'm going to live it. I'm going to live as if today is my last day.
Yeah. And it's like when you it's because nobody really sits down to think about life. Like I do a lot because that's just me, but the average amount of people in this world are just so busy in their mind and their physical world that they don't sit down to look at life and to fantasize and dream and think about bigger things and wanting more. And it usually happens when something impacts their life, and it's just like something drastic happens where it has them have to slow down.
Yeah.
For them to sit down for a minute and think, like, what is life? Because when you sit down and really think about it, it goes fast. How old are you now? Like, look at your life. Look what you've done. And look, are you in a job you've been in for 10 years, for 2 years, for 1 month, let alone 2 days that you don't like? Why do you choose every single day to get up and still do what you're doing if you don't like it? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying wake up tomorrow and quit everything that you don't like and just start right now, scrap it, you know what I mean? But like, look at your life, analyze it, and see where you need to start changing habits to go towards the life that it is you want.
Yeah. And so we talk about fear a lot. Like you and I, we've talked about fear. It's man-made. Fear is man-made. It's something that we made up in our mind. And in the book that I read today, he talks about this. Most of us will live in fear in our imagination for something we will never experience. It's a fear that we make up in our mind, and it'll never come to fruition. It's just something that you've created in your mind. But if you were to remove that fear and replace it with like persistence, you will see a drastic change in what it is that you want. Your goals, your money, your relationships, your happiness, your health, whatever it is. It's that persistence. And he says here, failure will never overtake you if your determination to succeed is strong enough. Right? So we can set a resolution. You can call it a resolution, but why not set a revelation? Right? Today, have the revelation that you are going to create one new habit, and you're going to stick with that one habit. We, as human beings, we believe that we are entitled to instant gratification. We have email, we have same-day Prime delivery, we have Messenger, we have, the air fryer, and we have the Instapot that makes a frozen meal in 12 minutes. Like we literally can have everything at our fingertips. So we believe that our wealth and our goals and our dreams, desires, and our weight loss has to happen like that. But it doesn't. But it does if you set one habit. So pick one. You have 12 months. Pick one today. Stick with it for 30 days. And then February 1st, add on another. So now you've done 30 days of one habit. You're going to continue that habit all through February with your additional habit that you have set. By the end of the year, you will have set 12 new habits. and you will see a massive shift in you and in your goals and your dreams and your desires and happiness.
Absolutely. Because if you break down like all the areas of your life, that's a couple habits in every area of your life. That's how quick you can change your life. And it doesn't even have to be the entire year to see those results. Like you pick one habit, you're going to see results in 30 days.
Yeah.
How
And 30
fast
days go by fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Look at
Valentine's stuff is already out.
right?
Right? Because we're always thinking in the future. We are always thinking in the future. But if you don't change your present, if you're not in your present moment, you're going to take your past and you're going to put it in your future. So yesterday is going to become tomorrow. And you're not really going to see today. We set all of these goals, right? Like, so Kaylee, you sat down, you wrote out a huge list of goals you want, right? We all do that. We write those out. And then we're like, okay, we're going to lose weight. Okay, so we're going to go to the gym 5 days a week. We're going to throw out all the junk food in the house. We're going to eat healthy, healthy, healthy. And then your body's going to go through withdrawal. And then you're not going to know what to do with it. So you're going to most likely retract back to old habits, right? Because your body's always following your mind to the known. And if you haven't changed your mindset about eating healthy and losing weight, your body's going to take back over. It's going to send a signal to your brain stating that you need to eat that food. And then you're going to go back and you're going to do it. It's the same thing with every habit. If you don't change the mindset, nothing's going to change. So you write out this huge list. You've now read this list. Now you've imprinted it into your mindset, this huge list. And you're like, I have to get this done today. I have to do it today. So now you're going to walk every day. You're going to the gym. You're budgeting. You've taken out all the coupon books. You got a new daily tracker. You're doing that. And you bought 100 books. And you bought a new alarm clock, right? You got all this stuff to help you get to your goal. But if your mindset is not right, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, right? Because you're going to have all the things, but the most important thing that you need, which is your mindset to tell you to do it and move your body into action, you're just going to have all the things and it's not going to happen.
You know, right? I have purchased a planner every year for the last 20 years, and I've never completed a month. I've spent thousands of dollars in yearly planners and I've never completed a month. So that's literally just money out the window.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? And nobody thinks to invest into the mindset. Mm-hmm. It's all investing into the stuff. If you really want to change, you need to invest into your mindset.
Yep.
Like that's the most important thing. And it has to happen in order for you to see the success. Because if you I always say, look back, because that's how you see how you got here, right? I think it was Bob Proctor who said, you can never look forward and see where you're going and connect the dots. But once you get there, you can look back and see how you got here by connecting them. So look back, all of the things that you've accomplished, you didn't do with a kindergarten mindset, right? You learned the things along the way to get there. Mm-hmm. You have to learn the things along the way. So the things that you want that you don't yet have, it's because you don't yet understand how to get them. So you need to understand first. I keep bumping my mic here. You need to understand first, learn it in the mindset to do it and get it.
Yep.
So so important.
It's so true. And I've switched my mindset. So most of you know, I built a gym in my front yard in 2020. I used it. I didn't dive as deep into it like my husband did. And I had to sit back this last year and I'm like, okay, 2021 was like the year that most people really didn't go anywhere. We got locked down so many times. And I'm like, why didn't I use this to my advantage? I literally have no excuse. The gym is 2 feet from my front door. I built it. There's heat in it. We have all the equipment. Why didn't I use it? And I had to sit back and look. And it was my mindset. So now I've created this new habit in my mind that every time I say I don't want to work out, I just go stand in the gym. That's it. I just put my body in there. Because once my body is in that gym, I see all the equipment. I remember how good I feel when I finish a workout. Yesterday wasn't feeling so hot. Had a headache. It's been miserable here, raining. It's been low pressure. I took a nap. I got up from my nap and I just took my yoga mat out in the gym, brought my laptop, sat on my yoga mat and pushed play. And I did 20 minutes of yoga and I felt incredible.
Yeah.
So just put yourself in where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all it takes, right? Is just moving your body towards it. Because the body is almost more difficult than the mind, right? Because the body tells us sometimes what to do, but you just need to move yourself there with your mind. Tell your body, no, get your ass going, go and do it. And another thing too that I just started this year. So I started bringing one word with me into the new year. And that word being something that like fires me up, drives me, gets me excited, puts back into mind all of my goals, my wants, but just a word that I can bring with me into the new year that makes me feel good. So this year, my word is impact. And I seen this online from a girl that I follow, and she said every single year she does this. And she said when she's having moments of, because we're fucking human and it happens, and we have moments of doubt, we have fear that creeps in, doubt, old paradigms. And she said when those moments start to creep in on you, when you're having that growth and you're expanding, think of that one word. And think, okay, when I'm thinking of the word impact right now in this doubtful situation that I'm having, and I automatically think of that word impact, am I going to listen to the doubt? No, I'm going to be like, no, I'm doing this, right? Because I am making an impact this year and you're going to do it. So that's something too that you can do. So in any habit, bring that word with you. So when that habit starts to feel like you don't want to do it and the old doubt and stuff's creeping in, think of that word right away to keep that habit, that new habit going.
Mine's unbreakable.
Yeah, so good, Sarah.
Yeah, for all the shit that has happened to me over the last couple of years, what I have gone through, I am unbreakable.
I was going to say this year, not this year, this past year especially, proved it. You are unbreakable, Sarah Easterbrook.
Oh, I have my moments. I had my moments, but let me tell you, it's going to make a really good book. I'm excited for that. But yeah, unbreakable, shatterproof. Like it's happening. And when it comes to creating a new habit, it is an exercise, right? It is something that you have to do every single day. It's energy, and energy has to be in motion, right? So it's not going to be easy. We're not sitting here saying it's going to be easy because it's not. It's something new. It's foreign. Your body is going to buck and kick and get uncomfortable, but it's up to you to say that word, unbreakable, or whatever your word is, and move forward. It takes 21 days to create a habit, right? So if you can just go 21 days, it becomes easier and easier and easier over and over and over again. And you know what? It is easier with a coach. Like it really is. When you have somebody holding you to your highest standards, it makes it easier because we show up and give you the kick in the ass that you need to keep going.
Yeah.
Because we see you. We see you when you don't show up. We can actually feel your energy. We are connected. When you're connected with a coach and you show up on certain days and you don't show up, we see that. We see when you don't show up. We see when we can feel you when the doubts start to creep in. I was having this conversation with somebody over the weekend and we were talking about writing. It's the one thing most people won't do, but it's the one thing that has the major impact, right? Is writing. So we were talking about writing, and yesterday I had a friend of mine, she showed me her stats and she's like, I wrote out my stats for a year. And I'm like, look at that. I said, when you had fear and you had doubt, all you had to do is write this out to show you how far you came. Right? So I'm like, look at that massive shift. And she's like, I know. So when you write it out, you're doing what's called a brain dump. You dump it all out of your mind. So your mind's not back and forth like, should I, shouldn't I? What if? fear, doubt, right? You remove everything from your mind, you put it on paper, and then you write out what it is that you want and your goals. And when you look at it on paper, you create an image through your eyes. So your eyes create an image in your mind. So it helps you to move forward towards that goal, because now you can see this beauty. It's like a movie in your mind. You create this beautiful image so you can see that goal, because you've removed it. You removed the fear and the doubt from your mind, and you've replaced it with this beautiful image.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what almost immediately changes that mindset, right? Because you're now thinking about what you're writing.
Yep.
Right. And you're creating that image instead of the doubt, the fear, the worry, and the lack mentality.
Yep.
And I wanted to say while we wrap this up here, so as we talk about, setting your New Year's resolutions, don't set it and beat yourself up. Just create a list of your wants and look at them one at a time and just tick them off, right? Yep. Create that shopping list and a vision board. Yep. And we're actually doing a vision board party on January 14th.
Yep.
It's the 14th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, January 14th. Yeah, so we'll put the link below. I can't talk now. Make sure you register. Vision boards are huge. We've had quite a few parties already. Like last year we did a few, but we thought it would be really, really good for people to do this year. We're also having another event, the Debt Power Payoff, that is also coming up in January too. So we can put that link down below. But make sure you get excited about what it is you want. Like, we're here to have fun, make memories, laugh, like do the things that we love in this lifetime. It's not meant to do anything but that. So come to this vision board party, put all the things on your paper, get excited, have fun with us. Yeah, it'll be a good time.
It's going to be a good year, guys. It's going to be a great year. The year of awakening.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys on Thursday.
See you there.